I've been really trying to get locked in on my creative journey lately in terms of really making a independent like business out of it, and like really making an independent career out of like everything that I'm doing creatively, like independently, with my music, with my documentaries, with my YouTube videos, just with everything, as well as my other like businesses, like creative businesses that I have with like my studio and my like developmental brand, Underground Developmental, and like Underground Studios, but heavily in terms of like when it comes to like my music and my documentaries. Like I've been spending a lot of my time trying to get a foundation together with those two aspects and try to figure out how to actually earn an income off of doing those things, because like it really seems, and for a long time I really thought it was like, yo, you have to really be blown all the way up in terms of in order to actually make any type of income from that. But that's really not true, and you don't have to like be a mega celebrity in order to like really make an income off it. There's a lot of celebrities that are big that don't even make an income off of it. But if you understand the business, if you understand how things work in terms of how to make an independent business and income stream off of the business, then it can spiral and waterfall into getting to that point. Because once you get enough people, and once that gets to a certain amount of audience members and like paid like subs, then you can actually make an income off of it, and it would actually make sense rather than utilizing middlemen and like third parties that don't give you a fraction of what it is that you're actually owed. So I really and it becomes like really like stagnant after a long time, and it becomes like annoying after a long time of really putting in the effort in terms of like making a career for yourself. Like I've been doing this for like I've been making documentaries and like and films and shit since I was like 15, 16. So damn near like 10 years for real, in terms of like really just doing creative shit. But really, it's been a long time just trying to figure out how to make an income off of it, and just gain some kind of financial backing from like the work that I put in with the art. But you know, it's been taking a long time, and that that's the annoying part of it. And after such a long time, I want to actually turn some kind of profit and actually make something worth it. Especially 25, I'm still living with my mom, but I mean, obviously, like most young people today live with their parents until they're like 30, as a study says. So, but at the same time, I want to really figure my shit out at this point and like get to the point where I'm, making some kind of income off of my shit, and I want to eventually, feed my family off of this shit. So it's like that's something that's very significant, and you need to pay attention to those things. And what I've been figuring out is, and just honed in on, is actually creating those systems to where you can have that income source coming in, and it just makes me feel more. I just feel way more inclined and just more meaningful to create documentaries and like stream and make music and do what I'm doing when I have that actual source of like, okay, this is gaining and leading up to something. Because when you're doing the just hoping off of the social media, hoping off of the YouTube money coming in and the money coming in from Spotify and iTunes, it's a huge mountain. It's a huge mountain because Spotify pay you fractions of a penny for like each one of your streams. As well as like same with like YouTube, and same with a lot of different big companies that gives creatives nothing and rakes in millions of dollars and gives creatives fractions of that money, which is like similar with labels. So it's like that's not a it just feels like you're throwing songs and content and hard work into a void when you do that. So that's what, after so long, it becomes very much like, damn, like I just don't even, what the fuck am I doing for real? Especially like spending time doing that rather than like, when you're getting older and you're like, you have to actually pay for shit and you're becoming a for real grown man. Like you can't be pushing 30, like, or like in your like really adult and be still clamoring and grinding on the independent journey that you was on when you was 19. Like it just doesn't make fucking sense. So it needs to start making sense at some point. So I've really gotten locked into a lot of different creative means of actually creating income sources. Like I created a Patreon for my documentaries. I've created a Rivet, which is essentially like a Patreon for your music, to where I can actually have a direct to consumer platform and really push that more than pushing my music on all platforms or pushing my music on YouTube, because it's like, I mean, pushing my documentaries on YouTube, because it's like just giving people direct access to you, in the subscription based service. Like I have a subscription on both of those things, to where like even $5 a month is giving you not only a sustainable source of income from each individual fan and each individual supporter, over time, which is literally more money that you would be getting from each individual supporter than off of a Spotify or off of YouTube, which is crazy. And because like, and on top of that, like just having that accessibility to, like, once you have enough people doing that, which is significantly less people than you need from like a having a middleman, then like a middleman meaning like a Spotify or YouTube, then you're getting to that independent career so much faster. So that's why that direct to consumer is ridiculous. And then I even created a Rivet. I mean, I even created a Even as well, which is a direct to consumer, which is also pay what you want. So anybody can pay essentially whatever they want. Just giving people that option is crazy, because then you can have it to where people can pay you like $100 for a song, and then it's like just giving, because they give you the option, and just because they support your path and your journey and what it is that you're trying to do. So it's just like different means of access give independent artists like an actual possibility to have a career off of this shit, which is amazing. And like just something that I feel like I've been slacking on, because I've had my Ribbit for a long time, and I just haven't been pushing my shit out on it as much as I need to, and like promoting as much as I would like to, and like putting out new stuff. So it just got to the point where I just realized that like, yo, I've been really slacking on my shit in terms of like really building a career, and I'm looking here and there and all over the place to try to figure out like, yo, where's this next money gonna come? Where's this next income stream gonna come? Where am I gonna get money next to fund this journey and fucking eat and fucking do regular normal everyday shit? But it's like, yo, this shit is right in front of me. Like I'm sitting on a pile of gold that I just am too fucking scared or lazy or in my own head too much to fucking start digging. And like it's ridiculous. So like I've been honed in and studying a lot on like my inspirations and like influences on my independent grind and journey. And I'm gonna do that more like on the stream, like watch like different interviews and like research different shit along with y'all. But just like people like Lil Russell, people like Joe Budden, people like Russ, just different people, people like yeah, it's just different people who champion just independent creators coming to the bag without having a huge corporation take the majority chunk out of it and majority control. It's just like being independent and having that accessibility, and just really a main thing is just like direct to consumer, and just really selling directly to your audience and letting your audience really fund your journey. And that's really the whole guide to the independent like model. And I've taken a step back for a long time of creating, because like the creating is only an aspect of, your artistic expression, which is a crazy thing to think about and say for real, but it's so true because like you can create forever and ever and ever, but if you really want to make a impact with it, if you really want to make like something significant out of it, then you need to figure out what it is that you're doing, this like the fucking science behind what you're doing, and the whole idea behind it, and who it is that you're trying to reach and speak to, and what it is that you're even doing. Like that's where I took a pause from it, because it's like, what am I even doing right now? Like, am I just trying to just scratch and claw for the point where I'm getting to like hundreds of thousands of monthly listens to where I can actually start making a couple $1,000s? Or should I start really focusing on like the locked in audience creatives and start building on that, but also give myself like sustainability of giving direct to consumers, so that those hardcore audience are helping fund my journey along the way? Like that's a far more sustainable kind of thing to figure out. So it's like I really spent, before I even started doing these streams, it's like I really wanted to spend time making the Patreon, making the Rivet, making it even, and just figuring out my how I'm going to make this like a career for myself, because that's the whole point. Like building upon everything that I know and everything that I've learned and I'm learning to create something more substantial for myself, and a career for myself, as an independent artist, and that the way has been paved over and over from so many different people, but it's just obviously years and time changes, so it's just like figuring out how that works within the time that we're in right now, and how that's working is like, yo, it's crazy, because how they used to work in like 2009, it's fucking wild. How they used to work in like 2000, if it was like 2003, direct to consumer literally looks like handing CDs out of the trunk of your car. That was direct to consumer in 2003. That's why it's a beautiful time that we live in. Direct to consumer 2003 was going to the fucking record store and asking if you could put 10 of your CDs on the shelf, or going to the back of your trunk and putting a bunch of CDs and trying to sell them like that. Now you can literally make content, showcase your music, and tell them it's available on Rivet, $5 a month. That shit is, or it's available on Even. Pay me whatever the fuck you want. Niggas like Lil Russell, $11,000 from Kyrie Irving, $18,000 from Gary V, from one project that's not even fucking out yet. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. So it's like it's just no excuse for any of us to where like all we need to do is just, all that stands between us and what we want to get to is just like research and dedication and adjusting over time, throwing shit at the wall and adjusting over time and learning and figuring out how this shit works. Yeah. So that's where I've been at in my career, figuring out the logistics and the aspects of just like what it is that I'm even fucking doing, and making this shit make sense to where I'm like on a steady path of growth, rather than like chasing the virality, chasing the getting enough views or follows or subscribers to where I can earn enough on YouTube. Like, obviously that's a goal. That's the goal for sure. And getting this shit huge. But like, even at that point, imagine how much money people are losing out on because that's all they're relying on, versus like how much money people are making from direct to consumer, because they understand that their fans actually want to support them. They just need to be given a source to support them. That's literally a huge avenue, a huge aspect of it, for real. So subscribe if y'all want to support me directly on my Rivet, on my Patreon, on my Even, whatever y'all want to do. Yeah, it's the way that independent artists literally can get to the fastest source of getting a career possible for real, without a label, without a third party backing, in terms of like a Spotify, in terms of like an Apple Music, in terms of a YouTube, anything. Like literally just utilizing the sources that we have that will be the best for the independent artists for real. So that's what's that's what's really fucking fire.